G Lane, so much to discuss this morning. I put a text through to yourself and Joe Jury last night, saying if I could have the top of the podcast today to discuss energy levels and a couple of other things. But we've been severely railroaded by what can only be described as one of the most impressive couches or settees we have ever seen.
Well, yeah, our great partner, the TAB, have sent us the official hunch couch and it's a couch like no other couch I've seen.
It's not great for the audio medium, but shall we try our best to give it a bit of a tour?
It's basically like three lazy boys stuck together. It's got speakers out the front. It's got microphones either side so you can broadcast from it. It's got cup holders in which you can press a button and a chill plate underneath keeps your beer cold.
That's right. I would recommend actually going and watching us on YouTube today because you'll get a full...
Can you recline?
Visual.
Because you're on it, I'm not, but you recline.
So if I kick that out...
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, we've taken a different... Oh, my God.
It goes all the way back.
Oh, it keeps going... Oh!
Oh, that's dangerous.
Oh,
that is
shit.
Dangerous.
I mean, a real camel toe angle for Joe Jerry over there, but
you might want to straighten that up.
That is
magnificent.
And then you can do the head as well, apparently.
So what's your beef?
No, I just sometimes I forget that what we do here in the studio is going to be captured or then shown to other people. And I stumbled across a video of ours yesterday in which we were talking about what were we talking
Billeting?
about? We're talking about billeting, and I just thought to myself, "Fuck me!
What
would it kill me?
Kill you?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is on you. This is you self-reflecting.
Yeah.
On a video you've seen of yourself.
Would it kill me to give it something?
Well, look, I've said that a lot actually because you started your broadcasting career with me, and one of the bits of advice was, are you okay? Because you seem desperately unhappy all the time. And then you said to me, no, this is how I normally look. And I said, oh, good, okay, because I just thought you were desperately unhappy, but it turns out you are just constantly.
I remember that clearly, actually. That was a fantastic meeting that we had.
Yeah, and you were like, but you're okay? And you're like, yeah.
Yeah, shit, yeah.
And I'm like, okay. Well,
this is as good as it gets for me.
And they're like, would it kill you to maybe fucking smile once in a while then?
So I felt like I had to come on today and just explain to everyone that my low energy is not a reflection of how much I enjoy what we do here. I think what we do here is fantastic. I think I know that I enjoy it.
You're a low energy kind of guy.
I am just a low energy kind of guy, and I realised that if you did see that as well, you'd be thinking, geez, this lucky motherfucker is going to come in here, do this for a living, which is an absolute disgrace.
And you're on a couch now as well, which can recline.
Yeah, well, we were talking about this yesterday with Mania, that, quite often we'll think back to our 18-year-old selves and we'll go, how the hell did we end up here? I mean, we'd be stoked thinking about the fact that, one day... We were so excited, G Lane, because we thought our 18-year-old self to find out that we work in a place that has a beer fridge in the corner.
Yes.
We talk shit with our mates is a real job. But
go to sports games, go to the All Blacks.
That's right. And now I'm here, and we've taken this another whole step further. I'm currently reclined, and I can be for the entirety of my day. I can do my job from a couch now, G Lane.
Yeah, that's true.
So thank you.
You can, or don't thank me.
Well, I am.
Thank the TAB.
You're
because it's the TAB hunch couch. It's a 4-man job to lift it, though, isn't it?
Yeah,
but it's got LED lights under it.
Yeah, the lights are amazing. Can you change the colour of those?
Yeah,
Joe?
they got LED lights, which kind of reminds me of the Boy Racing cars early doors when they discovered you could put LEDs under your car.
I had some interior floor LEDs. Yeah,
right. Okay.
When I started my job at Repco, I was given a bit of a 50% off discount.
And that's the first thing you bought?
The first thing I bought.
You got a 50% discount at Repco, and the first things you bought was interior LEDs.
I spent about $1,000 on my first paycheck. They made money, me working there. I always said that about Repco. I worked there every Sunday, but I definitely spent more money than I made. But some LEDs were invested in, a couple of fluffy dice. But yeah, just back to my ebb really quickly before we move on. If, G Lane, I've got a mixed reaction to feedback. Sometimes I'll take it well, sometimes I'll take it horrendously.
Yep.
But I promise you, if the red light is on in here and the microphones are on, and you tell me, hey, mate, pick up the energy, I'll take it like a champ.
Okay. Well, those of you who are still with us, let's get into the podcast. Live from the Export Beer Garden studios and from the TAB Hunch Couch, this is the Agenda Podcast for Thursday, the 3rd of July.
The Agenda Podcast, the home of sporting nonsense and claptrap. Brought to you by Export Ultra.
It is going to be dangerous once you can start. So on this couch as well, people might not be surprised to know there's also buttons on it.
Yeah.
Which you can apparently attach audio to.
Yeah.
That's going to be dangerous once we figure out how to do that.
Yeah, that's true. You interrupted someone. Can you just shush?
Did I interrupt the intro?
Yeah.
Sorry, my headphones are quite quiet over here today.
Lily, bearded and mean-looking, ran in from 30 yards, fast and straight at me. He delivered the ball at something like 90 miles an hour. That gave me 0.4 of a second to react and play a shot. Whack! A well-timed shot for 6. Lily applauded the shot, and then he proceeded to draw a cross between my eyes.
Well, the crowd really enjoying that shot. What a tremendous shot it was from Richard Hadlee. He swung at Lily and hit it about 20 yards up into the number 1 stand, and that was really a great shot. Lily's reaction, however, will be most interesting.
I predicted a bounce the next ball. Then I used reverse psychology, hoping he'd pitch the ball up. He did. 4 runs. The crowd inspired me again, as they had done during that bowling spell of mine.
Another 4. Is it 6? No. Through mid-wicket. Bouncing a couple of times.
The words of the most humble of men, Sir Richard Hadlee, talking about himself there against Australia at Lancaster Park.
Happy birthday, Sir Richard.
Yeah, it is his birthday today. He's 74 years old, Sir Richard. And you're guaranteed that this morning at 6:09 in the morning, Jeremy Wells texted Sir Richard to wish him happy birthday, because he's got a dangerously odd text relationship with Sir Richard, which I think he's getting more out of than Sir Richard.
I've only ever heard that version of the audio that we just played from Wells.
Yes.
I've never heard the official clip before. I've only heard his version of it, and it's dangerously close.
The video where he introduced himself. My brother's Barry and Dale. Up in the back. Like that one there. He does the whole thing. He's a man obsessed, and he's now got his phone number, and he now texts like during cricket games and stuff, and like goes full nerd with Sir Richard Hadlee.
Yeah, because
and Sir Richard Hadlee returns fire. And they serve and volley back with just cricket nerdery.
Well, it's because Sir Richard, there's only one person that loves Sir Richard as much as Jeremy Wells does, and that's Sir Richard.
Yes.
So they just share their love
Yeah.
for Sir Richard. I think they did a 7 Sharp story not that long ago, didn't they, where he went down to...
And he held hands on the couch, and they watched him get that 10 wickets in Brisbane.
That's
Pegasus.
amazing, eh?
Anyway, happy birthday, Sir Paddles. He is one of the greats. And just going through his archive of some of his autobiographies and stuff like that is hilarious. He was actually, Sir Richard, notoriously tight as well, by the way. Notoriously tight.
Oh, I didn't know that.
During his playing days. But he was
financially
also one of the pioneers of commercializing his brand.
Okay.
Like he would sell, like have you seen the book Hadley's Humour?
Yeah.
Ironic, but it's basically and of course we've got a whiskey decanter here that is Sir Richard Hadlee on it.
So he was one of the pioneers of kind of monetizing.
He sold towels of himself on it. He sold biscuit tins. He partnered with Jim Beam and released a whiskey, books.
Is there a Sir Richard bedspread out there?
100. Yeah, there is.
There will be. Yeah,
100%. I'm pretty sure Wells has got one. he was because obviously cricket wasn't really technically professional then, but you could make money from selling your merch or how-to videos.
Yeah.
And there's that classic one that involves Jeremy Coney and a very young Chris Harris and touching him in some really sensual kind of way in Hagley Park.
Some of Di Henwood's favourite visual literature.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, Hadlee on cricket on VHS there as well.
Yeah, so he was a big advocate for the VHS, wasn't he?
Yes.
He'd released some of his best work, so you could watch it back countless times. And then there's a book behind you there as well. What one's that?
Hadlee. It's just Hadlee.
That one's just Hadlee, is it?
It's updated to include Australia 1980 and 81 and India 81. So look, this is only halfway through his career, and he's releasing books just on his career. He's one of the greats.
It was lucky he was fucking good.
Oh, well, that's the reason. He held up that team.
Is it a controversial thing to say that Sir Richard, our probably greatest ever bowler, would have just been bullied ferociously if he wasn't that good at cricket?
Yeah, but I don't think he would have cared.
No.
He's the kind of guy, legend at it, he'd turn up at the pub still in his full whites with spikes after the game just to make sure people knew that Sir Richard bowled 30 overs and got 7 for 62 that day.
The second most ever single innings fifers I saw. There's a stat for you. The second most, behind the Sri Lankan guy that's got the name that starts with Muralitharan. Yeah, there you go.
I remember a few years ago, I think it was Laura McGoldrick went up and asked Sir Richard for an interview during a I think it might have been a test match or one day. I don't know why we were there for some reason. And Richard turned and looked at Laura and said, Sir Richard will decline that. Good on him. I mean, it takes a big man. It takes a big man to talk about yourself in the third person. But he is a great New Zealander. He's 74 today, Paddles.
Happy birthday, mate.
Giving up golf. He's given up golf.
Has he given it up? He
you
bought a house greenside at Pegasus Bay.
No, he gave up. Do you know why he gave up?
Why?
Because he couldn't beat his age. He said as soon as he couldn't beat his age on the course, gone.
Once that Venn diagram kind of crosses over.
Yeah, he couldn't. Wow. He couldn't beat. I think he was 72, 73. As soon as he couldn't beat that, gone out.
Jeez, that's a good golf score. Holy heck. Okay, fair play. Oh, well, again, happy birthday, Paddles.
Okay, right. On to All Blacks news. By the time you hear this, actually, the team will be out for the All Blacks. You've got any surprise picks there?
No, I tried to listen to a couple of the guys from the Herald discuss who was going to be in the starting 15.
Jeez,
oh, my God, it was something else to tell you. So, no, but they seem to think that Sammy Penny-Finau is starting.
Yeah.
So that was the only takeaway that I got out of that, and then the rest I didn't know about.
I think there'll be a debut for Big Willie.
Big Willie, okay.
Big Willie will make his debut, I think, and Duplessis Karifi.
Who's on the wings, G Lane?
Who's on the wings? I think it'll be Jabba the Butt and Severed Peace, won't it? Is Severed Peace in the team? Yes, yeah.
Okay, sweet.
Jabba the Butt and Severed Peace?
Yeah, and then, but because there was some of the controversy is they don't have enough rotation on the wing. Was that what they were talking about? Maybe Rico goes out there, whatever. I don't know. I haven't even really thought about the squad ever since it was named.
No, I think it's going to be pretty missionary. I don't think Razor's going to go too far from the script. A couple of debuts, and that's it, I think.
Yeah, yesterday Manaia Stewart thought that this series could actually be a bit of a downtrowing for the French. It could be quite high scoring. Do you think that's going to be the same?
I think, we'll discuss it tomorrow, because tomorrow we are going to be in Dunedin, and we're going to give you a pre-match show. Matt Heath will be down there giving us the inside oil. It's about -4 degrees down there. We need to talk about what we're going to pack as well, because we're in a motorhome.
Yep. That was actually another thing that I had for you at the top of the show that I forgot about. Well,
motorhome in Dunedin in winter.
Coffee everywhere.
I've only done it before. I did it to Queenstown when I was a student.
Yeah.
But we used to get so hammered. Actually, the one time I took a motorhome in the middle of winter to Queenstown, we went to a foam party in Queenstown.
Yeah.
This is embarrassing. The foam party was down the stairs of this pub in the basement.
It's been a while since I've heard about a foam party. Anyway.
And I saw the foam was about, I don't know, waist deep.
Wow, deep foam.
Yeah. And
deep foam.
I came off, like, I think the 5th step.
Uh-oh.
Full swan dive into the foam, thinking
the floor was a lot closer than what it was.
Thinking for some reason that the foam would cushion my fall.
Oh no!
I woke up amongst the bubbles,
right?
Soaking wet as well, because you get soaking wet.
You do.
And going outside and it's -4, you're soaking wet and you got a concussion. That's my one memory. And then I had to go back to the motorhome, concussed and wet and freezing cold, and try and get changed. Yeah. And then another member of the motorhome brought a friend home.
Oh, nice.
And, well...
As in that kind of friend?
Like, if the
camper van's knocking, don't come rocking. The other way around, sorry.
But we were all inside and he came in and started rocking.
Yeah. That's confidence. Jesus.
Yeah, it was...
My issue with this trip is that my partner has got one bit of experience in the South Island travelling around in a camper van, and that was with her ex-boyfriend.
Okay.
And for some reason, she just thinks that I want to hear all about her times down there with her ex-boyfriend swanning around in a van.
Well, you're getting revenge on her, aren't you? Because you're bringing her down, and it's with
That's a good point.
And me and Joe.
That's right. So I will be advertising the event massively.
I reckon the police might pull us over at some stage.
I think it's going to happen as well.
Yeah, and they're going to pull over, and they're going to separate us.
Yeah.
Pull Lauren aside. And, is everything okay here?
Yeah, and maybe they should. I do think about this.
Blink twice if you want to get the back of the car.
Because a whole bunch of you listening hopefully will see us this weekend down in Dunners if you are down there. The optics on it are quite strange. The group that will be running this weekend, myself, you, Joe Jury, and Small Lauren. Any
advice also from anyone in Dunedin or who are going to Dunedin where we could sleep as well, where we could park the motorhome up? I'm thinking of parking it down there by the El Tui.
Oh, yeah.
The El Tui pub, what's it called? The Mornington? No.
Joe Jury will know.
The Kensington.
But, because a lot of homeless go down there and sleep in their tents, but there was a fire there recently that swept most of those tents away. So I don't think that's safe for us.
Right, okay.
At the Kensington.
But having said that, there might also be some space for...
Yeah, that's true, actually, after the fire.
Camper van, yeah.
So let us know where we should go.
I have one major talking point.
Yeah.
Who's driving?
Me.
Okay, good. Thanks.
Yeah.
No, the whole time?
I was going to ask that as well, and then I realised I might not want to know the
I'm going to drive.
The whole thing.
Your
whole thing.
All driving, all day, every day.
Not every day. I'll get you to Dunedin.
This is a fantastic result.
I'll get you, because we're flying into Queenstown, picking up the Juicy. And then
Shout out to Juicy Rentals as well.
And then hitting Dunedin. I'll get you to Dunedin.
Yeah.
Once I get to Dunedin, I'm going to drink heavily.
Yeah.
Well, that was my question then. So how are we getting around?
That's right. We need to park somewhere.
Right.
And then just leave it there. Throw the keys in the bush, and it stays there for the entire weekend.
And what time tomorrow is that? Because I'm taking this admin seriously. I think we are going to need somewhere to park ASAP. Yep. So are we thinking we're going to arrive about 2 p.m. tomorrow in the pretty city?
Yep.
Okay, so if you're listening and you've got a place for us to park a big, juicy camper.
Yeah, 5-berther.
From tomorrow at 2 p.m. And you're okay with us sleeping in it for the night?
Yeah. If we could run a power cord.
Oh, power's a big one.
If we could run that at the window, that'd be good.
We'll
hook you up with as much export as you want.
Oh, there's... Okay,
well, that so as much as you want. Okay, within reason.
I have a suggestion.
Oh,
God.
Why don't we park...
If you say Castle Street, it's...
No, on Every Street. Outside the private...
It's on a hill,
previous Bain estate.
I've been to Every Street recently. Did you guys know that the house is quite lovely now?
No, they burnt it down, that's why.
Yeah.
But
the house that does lie there, though, is quite a pretty house.
It's on a hill, though, isn't it?
It is on a hill.
You only park a motorhome on a hill once.
Yeah, true.
Because basically you all end up like sardines in one corner of the motorhome, whether you like it or not.
My question to you, G Lane, is do you have the confidence to take the Juicy rental up Baldwin?
No.
Okay. I've seen a camper van take it on before on a TV show. I think it might have been Hamish and Andy that did it.
Yeah, I think, look, if it was heavily insured, then yes.
And is it?
No.
Okay.
We're
not doing
also,
we don't have to do the Crown Range, do we? No, that's Queenstown.
No, that's good. Another rule. No number twos in the motorhome.
Again, mate, look in the mirror and say it.
No, I'm looking at you because I've done this before and someone snuck in there because someone has to empty that.
You and Joe Jerry are the two major culprits for this.
I'm looking at Lauren. I reckon Lauren's going to sneak in there and drop a...
Do you know what's funny about
mousy too?
She'll be so stoked we're talking about this, but she does, early in the morning as well. She'll get up about an hour before everyone else and then just, go about her business.
Yeah, okay. Like a cat.
And then we all wake up and go, Jesus, G Lane, Joe Jerry. And then Lauren will be very quiet at that stage, but it will be her.
So, we'll give you an update on that tomorrow when we land.
We've got some accommodation locked in.
Yeah. Well, it's very hard to get accommodation in Dunedin. Someone built a goddamn hotel or something. Jeez. Lions, they've come back from being pantsed by Argentina, and there's a couple of warm-up games they've already had. The Western Force, they smoked, and they beat the Reds last night 52-12. So they carry on. Their test is next weekend against Aussie, but they've got a game against an Anzac 15. Which is interesting because David Havili, Sean Stevenson, shooters playing in that.
Wow.
So that's going to be an interesting one because all the basically best of the rest from Super Rugby are going to be playing the Lions. I think it's in Adelaide.
And is that what that is, essentially the best of the rest?
Yeah.
So anyone that didn't make the All Blacks squad for whatever reason, even if you're heading over to play international rugby.
Yep. And Les Kiss is everyone's favourite search term is coaching that team. And Ian Foster's the assistant.
Bullshit, Fozzie.
Yeah, Fozzie's the assistant of that Anzac 15. So that'll be a good game, I reckon, because they play the midweekers, the Dirt Trackers. They play the Dirt Trackers midweek, I believe, for that one. So I think it's going to be fairly spicy. I think the Lions are going to hump the Australians.
Yeah, that was an interesting result, though, the 52-12. I thought the Lions might not have a whole lot in the tank, but turns out they do.
Yeah, no, they do. Hey, don't forget, everything is on YouTube now on our podcast, and you can, if you want to check out our couch, you'll get some of the couch. You'll get the one seat, but there is 3 seats.
Yeah.
You'll get that on YouTube, but... We'll take a quick break and we'll be back with our hunches for the weekend. Rightio, the Warriors ladies are back, Finn.
Yes.
They haven't played in the WNRL since COVID.
Okay.
So obviously COVID came along and basically fucked everything, including the Warriors WNRL team. But they're back, and a few names you might recognise in there. Michaela Blythe.
Yes, heard of her.
Now Michaela Brake.
Ah.
So interesting, you're on the wing and you marry into a break.
Yes, because I think it's Michael Break. I could be wrong as well. So
Michael and Michaela Break.
Wow, those names are very similar.
Very similar.
So when they were dating, it was Michael Break and Michaela Blyde. Yeah.
There you go. So
he's also a rower, by the way.
Yeah,
apparently.
she is on the wing.
Sweet.
For the Warriors, paying $17 to score first.
Okay.
It's a bit of a vibe punt.
Yep.
Friend of the show.
Yeah.
Friend of the ACC. Michaela, so he's paying $17 to be the first try scorer in that game against the Sydney Roosters. That is happening on Sunday.
Do we have any idea how good we are?
No.
Yeah.
Because they haven't been in the competition for quite some time.
It's always interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, so we'll see how that one goes.
Okay, sweet.
Also, we're in Dunedin this weekend in our motorhome, driving around, commentating Saturday night live here on iHeartradio and on Radio Hauraki. But then we're going to mix it up, and in Wellington and Hamilton we're doing live events. So we'll commentate live from a bar. There's drink specials going on all night with Export Ultra. So it's going to be a pretty good night. We've got a bunch of free stuff to give away, some stuff from the TAB to get you punting, and we'll be commentating from there. It's free to come along. We're at Shed 22 in Wellington. Text Shed to 3236 to lock in your place. It's free. You just need to book, that's all. And in Hamilton, Roaming Giant, text ACC to 3236. There are some more spaces becoming available, so if you go there and you can't book, there's going to be a wait list. Just be patient. Maybe have another go an hour later. It currently says it's sold out, but they're opening up more space for us. So we're looking to get as many people in there as possible.
Well, hang on, we sold out.
Yeah.
And we've had to make some more space.
Yes.
Jeez, that's exciting.
So if you've tried and failed, have another go because they have opened up more space for those locations. So it's going to be they're pretty good time. They're pretty legendary.
Oh, that's good that people are going to show up. I'm excited about that.
Are you worried?
Yeah, no, I wasn't worried that people weren't going to show up. I was just, the more the merrier.
Well, if you find me there, I'll shout you a beer. There you go.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
That's good.
Not you, punters.
Oh, right, okay.
Let me shout you a beer. Hey, this weekend we've got a pretty a cool off the long run. These are our interviews that we release, try to release most weekends.
Yeah.
And we had a really good chat with Ryan Fox post his Myrtle Beach and Canadian Open victory, and he's getting ready for the Open.
You'd have to say this conversation was a couple of months in the making, wasn't it? Really?
It was. You went backwards and forwards in like some sort of weird text relationship.
He kept doing too well though, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
We were trying to get him and be like, next week we'll have him, and then he played well, and then he'd be playing a tournament the following week. So
yeah, he kept winning, and so he kept blowing us off because he did want to give us more than the usual 5-minute radio interview.
That's right. Yeah.
So he did stick around with us for 40 minutes or so, and we asked him all the real tough questions like the 22 and 2.
Shit, yeah.
He didn't quite know how to approach the 22 and 2s, particularly some of the questions around downstairs operations.
He is such a relaxed man, Ryan Fox. But he was quite tense for the 22 and 2, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was. It was. I felt I tense up when I ask them because I never know how it's going to go.
Yeah.
Because I know the cricketers are all deviants, so they don't mind answering those questions. So it's good to know that Foxy didn't mind either. Anyway, here's a quick teaser of Foxy's interview. It's going to be released Saturday morning, so make sure, if you are listening to this, make sure that you like and subscribe the podcast, put it on auto download, and it'll pop straight into your feed. But this is a wee sample of what's coming out on Saturday.
I played golf with a group of mates at home since we were 12.
Yeah.
Went to school with a few of them. And we said, if I ever get in the Masters, before I was even a pro, if I ever get in the Masters, I'll take you guys.
Yeah.
Right. So I took them in 23 when I first qualified.
Wow.
And my management company, most of the management companies do this for the Masters Week. They get a house to host people because it's just a cluster trying to organize anything in Augusta Masters Week, right? So, like, you can take family and, like, go there for dinner. They have catering every night. Yeah. And the place that the company had got for that week was, like, amazing. Someone had pulled out last minute. They got it at a massive steal. Like it was 120 grand for the week down to like 30 kind of thing. Like crazy good deal. And they just wanted to fill it. So my mates all got invited, right? So they're losing the plot. So like the first couple of nights we're both there. They were kind of reserved the first night, got a little bit deeper the second night.
Yeah.
And then the Saturday night, which was the last night it was there, I had pneumonia, so I basically couldn't get out of bed. And they all just went, right? So I find out the next day that they've drunk the whole place out of red wine. even the reserve bottles. And I get photos of one of the boys. He's raided the pantry at 1:30 in the mornings, eating a bowl of cereal, and then he passes out on the couch. I'm like, okay, whatever. Like they know how to. They don't do things by halves. Put it that way.
Oh, that sounds like you got a great friend group. You've been playing since you're 12, and they're coming back for more.
They are coming back for more. Unfortunately for Augusta, they are coming back for more.
Yours, please. Brought to you by Export Ultra.
Rightio. So we had quite a few billeting stories come through yesterday.
Yeah.
And we've had a couple come through the old-fashioned way via email.
Oh.
And this one here, they would like to remain anonymous.
Oh, that's...
I was once billeted in the Hawke's Bay, age 15, for a rugby tournament. Day of arrival was the billet's sister's 13th birthday.
This is...
Lovely cake. 6 years later, I was halfway through my third Chardonnay of an evening, and whooshka, who would slide up alongside the hero of the story, only the birthday girl, but much improved and horny. We exchanged likes and dislikes, me, cold sausages, her, child poverty, but I didn't let that put a dampener on the evening. We made love like strangers in the dark, which we were because I hadn't changed the bulb for weeks. Those were the best 7 minutes of my billeting life. There you go.
What a fantastic piece of correspondence that is.
That's great in the fact that
Wowee.
Such a connection from billeting that, 6 years later, you can bump into the birthday girl.
So lovely put as well, wasn't it? I
Yeah.
mean, there was love in that.
Doesn't like cold sausages, though.
No.
She didn't like child poverty, which is fair enough.
No, who does?
Yeah. Yeah.
But amazing that they managed to turn that conversation into the best 7 minutes of his life. Well, not that's what he.
Well, it's a good way. It's a good way of thinking of what's your likes and dislikes. Straight into it. What do you like? What do you dislike?
Yeah. And if I said to you, I don't really like child poverty, would you be like, oh, come here then?
I have another acquaintance who his pickup routine is getting the person he's chatting up to say yes all the time. So like, do you like hot baths? Do you like going away on holiday to like tropical islands and it's a buffet? Yeah, because do you like it when you go to a cafe and they just say your coffee's for free? Yeah, because you want to come home with me? Yeah. So it's just a tsunami of questions that gets them going. Yeah, I do, and then you follow up with, well, how about we just go home and go at it like rabbits? Yes.
Training your sexcapade and muscle memory to just say yes to everything is maybe operating at a level that I never will operate.
Yeah, we should try it. We should try it.
I think that might cause some issues at home.
I'm not saying try it outside the relationship.
Oh, sorry. No, that's actually true.
Yeah.
I could try it in the relationship. Yes. That would be the best place to start.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's on me for jumping outside of the relationship.
You've just presumed that I want you
to
be a dirtbag.
Okay, move on. Next one.
Okay, well, we haven't had one yet. But,
no,
how many we got to go through, Joe? 5 to get through. Okay, here we go. First one, yours, please.
You do a lot of horrible shit, G Lane.
Yes.
A lot of reprehensible shit.
Yep.
But loving sultana pasties is something I can get behind.
Oh,
fuck you, Manai. Fuck you, Mash.
Yes.
Yeah,
fuck you, Joe Jerry. Go get some taste buds. Sultana pasties. I'm only 26. I'm not fucking old.
Yeah.
And I love them. They go down fucking well. They come in the little packs. You get like a little pack of 5.
Yes.
You chuck them in your pocket. You go to your day's work. Keep them nibbling away. Oh, it's good. Fuck Canterbury.
Yep. Good call. It's the biscuit that divides a nation. It is the biscuit that divides a nation, I tell you that.
I don't have anything more to say about it.
There's no one in the middle. There's no one in the... Yeah, see? You're either you love them or hate them. No one's in the middle going, yeah.
That's true. But do you know what I do respect about them is the way they are packaged. I think that the sultana pasty is ahead of its time like Blake Dawson, I know that voice when I hear it, mentions that the way you can just put them in your pocket, I think that's next level.
And... Look,
if a ginger nut could offer a similar thing.
They did change the recipe recently.
Did they?
Yeah, less sultanas, more chocolate, which I'm not, overly opposed to.
Wait, hang on. So where's the chocolate in the pasty?
All around it.
So it goes all around it. Then you've got the 2 crackers, the 2 crackery thing?
It's just a 1 cracker, and then there's the sultanas on top.
Oh.
I know, you're talking about fly biscuits.
Oh, am I?
Yes. It's got you're talking about the fly biscuits, which has got no chocolate on it, which you snap off and...
Yes, which you have also bought around before.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they're called fly biscuits because it looks like dead flies all through it.
Okay, so let me say, if you're into your sultana pasties, I can accept it. They're not for me. But I was talking about the fly biscuit.
Okay, you don't want the fly biscuit.
I definitely don't want the fly biscuit.
Okay.
Next one.
Finn, the All Blacks aren't versing France. There's no such word as versing. Stop saying it. You're better than that. Well, I don't know if you're better than that, but I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Oh. And also, sultana pasties are brilliant.
Yes.
It's some nice chocolate, some pastry, and then some delicious little squishy sultanas in the middle. It's brilliant.
That's right.
The salty stuff, I think you're thinking of the lemon icing one. Totally different story. Anyway, love you.
I guess. I'm presuming you and Mania piled on about my like for pasties yesterday.
Yeah, we were talking about biscuits for some reason.
Do you know the whole versing chat? It's not the first time that's come up, and not with you. I had a newsreader from ZB come storming down and tell me, can you tell Di Henwood that it's not versing? Versing is not a word. I was like, you chill out. Who cares?
Yeah, that's how I feel about it. But what am I supposed to say?
It triggers people, that's all. You know, it's like when...
Oh, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, what am I supposed to say? Versus. So, the All Blacks versus France.
Correct. So
okay.
Do better.
I'll work on that.
Do better. Next one. Yours, please.
G'day, mate.
G'day, mate.
Hey, G Lane, question for you.
Yes.
How much money would it take for you to write a book, a tell-all book, with all the stories that you have hidden away about various New Zealand sports stars and people in the media? It would be a fascinating read, and I just want to know what the number is.
Wow, because I was thinking about it the other day. I don't know why it was in my head, but I've worked with some real hand grenades.
Yeah.
Like Polly Gillespie, Ian Stables, who put his foot through a windscreen with a rental car in Brisbane as we were driving down the Gold Coast while I was driving.
Some heavy hitters here.
Dancing to White Snake, and we were slapping the dashboard, and he decided to then use his foot on the dashboard and just put his foot straight through the windscreen, going 100 kilometres an hour.
The chorus just dropped on Here I Go Again.
Yeah, here I go again
on my own.
And he put his foot out and went, poosh. I was like, that's disappointing.
So that was a windscreen shattering of excitement, though, not of...
Yeah, but I don't know.
Upsetness.
Well, no, it wasn't. It was worse. But he shouldn't have put his foot through it.
No, you're right. No, you shouldn't have.
And with that one, that was interesting because it was a rental car. So I went to the rental and they said, is there any damage? And I said, yeah.
No windscreen.
I said, some little shit in an overpass biffed something off the bridge. I don't know what it was, but it smashed the windscreen. And she goes, are you serious? Are you okay? Yeah, we're okay.
We'll be right. Yeah,
and she goes, I'll send someone out to look at the car. Just wait here for a sec. Sat down. And we're like, Stables, I think he was still hammered. He was like, I think we got away with it, Lane. And I was like, I don't know. And then we come back, and she comes back and goes, interesting, sir. The impact seems to be from the inside out. And I was like, how much was it? She's like, $1,500. I was like, here's my credit card. Here's my credit card. So I started my career. That's how I started my career. I was in my early 20s when I was doing that.
You started with Stables. That's a lot like me starting with Kirby.
Yeah. Well, don't forget I work with him now as well.
You and I have come from a similar place,
it's a real baptism of fire, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then look, the thing is, I'd have to write the book, and then when I die, it comes out.
You also
because if I wrote everything, I mean, I've told most of the story of what happened, the infamous pirate costume story from the UK.
Yeah,
it's in the book. It's in the ACC book. There are some other stories that didn't make it.
Yeah,
a few West Coast stories.
Oh, I'm familiar. Yeah, I have heard rumours of the West Coast stories, the party in the mouth stories. Yep.
I don't know if there's a number. I'm happy for not to be paid.
Well, the issue,
but I just have to be dead.
The issue that you've got, though, G Lane, is since you've been, is people for some reason think that since you're so good at telling the stories that you're not, or weren't complicit with the events at the time. So you've got to remember that if you come out now and talk about all these things, you're in just as much trouble as everyone else.
I'm a sitting duck,
which is a problem for you and probably a reason why you haven't done it yet.
Yeah, that's why I'm dead. It's like one of these things. I had the manuscript ready to go, and part of my will release it to Penguin Books. And
that's amazing.
And all the money raised from it would go to saving the penguins or something. I don't know.
That'd be nice. That's a good idea, though. That's what Paddle should be doing. He's too busy releasing autobiographies halfway through his career.
Yeah.
What you have to do is you release your autobiography once you die.
It's like releasing the secrets from World War II 50 years later.
Yeah. We're going to be sitting here on this couch.
Mind you, I don't think my kids would really enjoy it, would they?
No, they wouldn't.
Nah, maybe it has to be under, you know, heaps of people write spy novels under different names.
Oh, you want to have like some kind of alias?
Yeah, it's The Lizard King, written by...
Oh yeah, who's that?
Jerome Linguist. I don't know.
Is Scotty J still writing books?
Yep.
He could do it. Was he involved?
The Cleaver, the Meat Cleaver's still writing books.
The Meat Cleaver.
Yeah, he writes a good book.
And he wasn't as involved with a lot of the stories as you were, so maybe he would be able to kind of share all the details, keep people nameless, and...
I'll just tell the stories via the medium of podcast.
Yeah, I think so.
I'll do one a week.
One a week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got reminded one yesterday, actually. It was more of a private one. I used to play a lot of practical jokes on a good friend of mine, Jimbo, at university. Like, I used to get police letterheads. And
I've got a couple of Jimbos in my life as well.
I'd photocopy it at university. So I basically had a whole stack of A4s with a police letterhead on it. And then I would type up the letters and print them out and then just go. And I had a whole lot of Department of Courts or Department of Justice envelopes that I'd opened up carefully from all the fines and everything.
Yeah,
and I'd slip them back in there and I'd hand deliver them to their house.
That's a great
So quite a few times I've wound him up about, you know, his behaviour or whatever, and saying he's going to have jail time and all sorts, and wound him up. But he got the ultimate revenge on me when at his wedding, he told me I was part of the groom's party. He said, "Do you want to be part of the groom's party and do you want to MC the thing?" And I said, "Yeah, it's good. It's unusual to do both, but yeah."
Yeah.
And then dressed top hat, tails, like the full morning suit at the church. He paid for the suits, the hiring of the suits, so that's fine.
It would have been worth it for him though. Years of pain.
Years of pain outside the church, and he goes, "Hey, you're not part of the groom's party." And I said, "So you've dressed me up like that?" And he goes,
"Fucking Willy Wonka."
But I'd like to think that he did it on purpose, but he didn't. But
you don't reckon he did?
But it's a great troll.
It is one of the great trolls.
One of the great trolls. And the other groomsmen just started rolling around laughing.
Yeah, well, you deserved it.
And then I had go into the church, and there's only one seat left at the end of the church. Paul Stewart Ford is sitting there. And I sat down, and he just lost his mind. And he was like, he goes, I was wondering what was going on, because the program here doesn't have your name on it. Yet you're dressed like, why are you dressed like them? And I was like, fuck up, Paul. Fuck up. And then... And then the wedding photos were even more.
Lane, just you dressed up as Willy Wonka is amusing to me.
Yeah, and sitting at the back of the church, and people going, "Why are you dressed like the groom's party?" I say, "Shut up." I got my revenge though, because I still emceed it. Probably not the greatest platform to get revenge, someone else's wedding.
No,
especially their wedding. But I took my opportunities.
Oh, did you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I crucified him for about half an hour.
You thought, you know what? On a day that's not about me, I'm not going to be the bigger man here.
Yeah, no,
I'm not going to let this.
No.
Lie?
It was about me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
I will win this one.
That hour and a half at the reception under the tent was about me.
Yeah, no, as it should be.
And looking back on it, probably not a great decision.
So are you guys still
Poor
mates?
Carolyn, his wife. It was just watching this all unravel on her day, really.
Yeah. And it is her day, by the way.
It was on her day. Yeah, they got the power pulled. The neighbours just came and switched the power off in the whole venue.
Okay, well, that's going to be chapter 1 of your book. Next one. Have we got more to go through? I think we've still got 2 more.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
okay.
Yours, please.
Yeah, g'day, fellas.
G'day, mate.
Just on Wimbledon, I was in London for 6 years, and I queued up one year and had to get there at 4 a.m. and got through and got some alright seats. But the next year, someone told me that at 9 a.m. each day of the tournament, they release 500 centre court tickets, 500 court 1 tickets, 500 court 2 tickets, just online. But they don't advertise it at all. And so I got in there and got centre court the next year. It was fucking mean.
Oh, sweet.
Bottle of Pims, hooroo.
Well, there's a good hack.
That's a great ticket tip.
That's a great hack. So the online, but they do love a queue though over there. They do love a queue.
Why do they love a queue so much over there?
I don't know.
People got more time?
Don't know. It's very polite.
Yeah, people do embrace the queue though.
Yeah, but you go to places like India or China.
Yeah.
No queues. You're on your own. If you don't get to the front of that, that's on you.
Yeah.
It's about survival.
Because here in NZ, I don't know what you guys do, but if you see a queue, will you try and jump it? Or does that kind of age out that thing? Because I'm still...
It depends what it's for. I mean, like if the queue is for Warriors tickets for the grand final, no.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm not jumping that queue because I'm most likely to get my head caved in.
Yeah, because I've been in a couple of English queues before, and they don't they're not open to someone. Here, if you jump a queue and you get caught and you get escorted to the back of the line, everyone's just like, well, that's the game you play, unlucky mate. You know, you get a bit of shit, but everyone's okay for you to stay in the line. I was judged heavily for trying to jump a queue over there.
Where were you jumping?
At Lord's Cricket Ground, actually.
Oh!
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, don't do that.
I was trying to spend more time out on the oval than everyone else. I think I was trying to jump in the tour group ahead so me and the old man could stay out on the ground for a bit longer.
Oh.
Because we'd identified that the tour was taking people kind of, it was a busy time of year and they were absolutely humming through. Like I wanted to spend some time out on the pitch, take it in. And they wouldn't, and there was no forgiveness there. For the rest of the tour, they kind of looked at me like I was
a piece of shit.
A piece of shit.
Yeah, that's seen through.
Yeah. So anyway, a great ticket tip. If anyone's going to Wimbledon,
going to Wimbledon.
It's going to be useful.
Okay, you're okay though. Sabalenka's through. She's survived. Everyone else has been beaten.
Who else is in there?
They're about the two highest seeds that are still there.
I saw Medvedev having a sulk after getting
massive
knocked out.
sulk. I love how what did he say? This guy that doesn't play like this all year. He could be rich if he played like this. And he decides to play. It was like
I saw that quote. Russian. I saw that quote.
He's got such a weird shaped head, hasn't he, Medvedev? It's like a big bulbous kind of thing.
What is it?
It's like Megamind. It's like the guy that's on the loose in Pew Pew with his kids still. It is.
What's his name?
I don't know. He's the Megamind guy. Like they could get a better photo of him.
God, that is what he looks like.
He's still in the bush with those kids.
Is he?
They will be like full feral.
Yeah. Are we sure he's not playing fucking centre court at Wimbledon?
Just been knocked out. Yeah. Been knocked out of the first round. Anyway, next one. Yours.
Last one.
A two-parter.
Yeah, g'day fellas.
G'day, mate.
G'day, quick billeting story.
Oh, yep.
Drove up to St John's Hamilton to play a bit of footy. The morning of the game, my teammate staying with me, busting to go to the bathroom, but our billet was in there, so he thought, I'll go after I've had a shower. Jumps in the shower, comes out about 10 minutes later.
Oh, no.
Grave look on his face.
Oh, no.
Turns out he'd not been able to hold it in and shat himself in the shower and tried to waffle stomp down a very un-waffle stomp friendly drain.
Oh.
So anyway, he has to play it off to our billet's mum that he's sick. So not only does she have shit all through her shower, but she thinks that she gave him food poisoning from dinner the night before. So his old man drives him 6 hours home, no footy for him. Get back to school Monday, he's obviously fine. We're cracking up about it. And I say to him, fuck, so were both toilets full that whole time? And he goes, fuck, was there another toilet? Fuck the Crusaders.
That's your worst nightmare.
That is.
The best case scenario is you waffle stomp that and it's gone, and no one's the wiser. But obviously he's working some sort of grate which they couldn't stomp. That seems unusual.
Yeah,
because if you've got a removable head on the thing, you can usually go down there and do a bit of a water blast.
You can clean it up that way, yeah. And then the pressure will wash it away. I've only ever been involved with one waffle stomp, and that was at the Boys Brigade camp in Hanmer Springs.
Boys Brigade?
Was it Boys Brigade?
Yeah. Before the Boy Scouts, yeah.
Yeah.
The younger ones.
And
I think the younger, more vulnerable ones in which the Scoutmasters could really get stuck into.
And for some reason, we were going there on a school camp, and I remember a waffle stomp happening. But we were so lucky. We were given one of those plugs that has the big holes, so you could just,
Swip it down.
You could just cram that shit down easy as. Yeah. I've never been involved with a waffle stomp that has a grate that's too fine. I imagine modern showers aren't great for a waffle stomp. You get those gutters.
Yeah, the cool ones, eh?
Yeah, the nice ones.
Yeah, the cool kind of designer grates.
Yeah, that have just two lines that the water kind of flows down into.
And also there's no pressure in the showers these days that you can't actually wash that down. I went to a school camp at Lakewood Lodge, which is just out of Huntley.
Yep.
And it sounds as shitty as it is. And the parents were there, and it was like the last day, and me and this other dad, Craig, we got given the boys' toilets to clean, which is fine because you just get a big fucking industrial hose and you just hose down the shower area.
Just goes home,
You hose everything down, and it right as rain, doesn't really matter, it all dries out. We went into one toilet, and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And I tried to flush this, what I can only describe as a log that should not have been possible to come out of an 11-year-old boy. I've later found out who it was, and he said he was being constipated for a while, and I was like, no shit. It was in the toilet and then crawling up the bowl, and I got Craig. I was like, Craig, it's not going down. And he looked at me and went, we're going to have to break it up.
It's got to come out.
I said, we're not break. What do you mean we have to break it up? We go, we're going to have to break it. They said, that's like the Titanic. you're going to have to fucking snap it in half before it sinks. And so what are you going to do it with? And I was like, he's like, I don't know. So we're outside looking for sticks.
Wow.
And we go back into the toilet, and from a distance, me and Craig are like jousting this fucking
turd
thing. We're jousting it, just break up.
Yeah.
Break up.
And then...
Break up, cat. Anyway, we're whacking this turd until we got it in half.
Nice.
Had another go. One half went down.
It's amazing what a couple of fellas can achieve.
Exactly. And then we go back to like the staff area, and they're like, where the hell are you guys been? And we're like, oh, do you want us to tell you where we've been?
Fighting World War III, mate.
Craig and I have been down there poking a turd for 15 minutes because one of these kids has got an unhealthy bowel.
Imagine how good that kid felt once he took that shit.
Yeah. The Harry, you know who you are.
Harry, man.
Harry.
Fuck, he would have felt good. He would have walked out of that bathroom feeling 4 kilos lighter.
That was traumatic.
Also deserved, by the way. If there was one man, it makes me happy knowing you had to clean up something like that. After what I've seen, heard, smelt you do in the past, knowing that you've had to clean something like that up makes me feel better.
Yeah, I've never been. I haven't volunteered for any more camps.
I can see why. FYI. You're just going to end up cleaning out, Joe.
I was just going to think there must be something about that Hamner Springs school camp because Ashgrove Primary went there as well.
I forgot you're an Ashgrove boy.
And a girl shat in the shower there on that trip as well.
A girl shat in the shower?
Yeah.
Do you know if that was an attempted waffle stomp?
Surely any shit in the shower there's an attempted waffle stomp.
Yeah, sure. But there was no getting rid of it.
Okay.
There was evidence for everyone to see.
Wow. And that's impressive because I have on good authority that the Boys Brigade camp at Hamner Springs has big plug holes. So she's taken it. Wow. Yeah, you're right. Have you ever accidentally shat in the shower?
Nah.
No, neither.
No, how do you accidentally make, unless you're sick?
No, I was just trying to figure out why a shit would be left in the shower.
Oh, it's a statement.
It is a statement.
It is a statement. It's like, this is a key moment as well. Jeremy Wells' first ever night on 7 Sharp, which was about 7 years ago, I think. A good 7 years ago, maybe.
Wow.
Anyway.
Is that how long he's been doing it?
Yeah. Anyway, Matt Heath came over to our house for a barbecue, and we were going to watch the show together, and he brought his 2 young boys.
Did he bring a few beers, a couple of burger patties?
Yeah, and he came over, and my youngest was only probably about maybe a year and a half old, maybe.
Okay.
Very young.
Yeah.
And I gave him some no nappy time for a little bit, and then I heard this huge ruckus coming from the lounge. Kids yelling and screaming, and Charlie, one of Matt's kids, going running in and goes, "Frankie's done a shit." And I was like, and it's moving, and I was like, oh dear. So I go into the lounge. Poor Frankie's off doing something else, but he's laid a perfect log on the wooden floor.
Yeah.
And all the kids are standing around it, amazed at what they can see, because basically it had so many worms in it that it was pretty much moving. And the kids were like, "It's so gross."
Criminal, mate, you've just told that yarn. that is so sick.
Poor Frankie, though, we had to worm that mofo every couple of months. He was susceptible to it, but I'll never forget, that was the debut of 7 Sharp with Jeremy Wells. Will always be related to a worm-infested turd left on my lounge by my youngest, and it being found. I tell you what, Barry Heath was fascinated. Barry, the younger Heath, he was. If he'd had some sort of utensils, he would have dissected that whole thing and removed every worm and really got to the bottom of it.
He would have had it under a microscope at the time the show was finished.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Wow, that's disgusting.
Anyway. Let's round off. Okay.
No, the only reason I was asking though is because is the waffle stomp whoever did the first waffle stomp, credit to that person by the way, incredible stuff. What was it invented to be like a prank to someone? Nah. Was it like a fuck you kind of gesture or nah?
Nah, it's just because the old school greats used to be.
Was it just a figure in your cap
It used to be round, but it used to be like lines going up and down and across, so it looked the shape of a waffle, obviously.
Yeah, no, I'm familiar with why it's but
are you asking whether it was an accident or on purpose?
Yeah, why would you do it?
Well, I think you do it to get rid of the evidence. You're waffle stomping to get rid of the evidence.
Yeah.
If you want to make a statement, you don't stomp.
True that.
You just leave it there with worms crawling all through it.
Oh, totally with you on that. That is so disgusting. But why are you taking a shit in the shower in the first place?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is it to be like,
I think some people do. You know what? I do. I actually genuinely think some people do.
That's fucked. Are you taking a shit in the shower?
Yeah, I think some people do.
If you're taking shits in the shower,
I know a former international cricketer that used to do it.
Oh, Jesus. Dan Vittori.
Hey, we'll be back tomorrow with our preview of the All Blacks' first test against France, live from Dunedin. Plus, we have the ACC Sportsbook coming up this afternoon, out on Thursday afternoon. And, of course, this weekend also we'll have a Yours Please. We get round to every single Yours Please you send us. You take the time to send them, so we take the time to read them. And we'll see you tomorrow. I need to go do poos.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda podcast, brought to you by Export Ultra. For more episodes, like and follow on iHeartradio or wherever you get your podcasts.